Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession.
Good morning. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Sing
A very, very good morning to our first time entering students, parents, staff of Plaatje University, special guests, and a very warm welcome to guests following the program from the comfort of their homes through our live streaming platform. The transition into the new space has rewarding challenges, and we at Plaatje University have selected you, yes you, because we believe you know and we know and hope that what brought you here today will keep the spark in you alive to effectively navigate and obtain your qualification. As the Dean of Students, my name is Nicole Morris, and I'll be emceeing this particular program this morning. And this is the official welcoming hosted by the Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Andrew Crouch. Now, the Dean of Students, of course, heads up the Division of Student Affairs, and we really seek to ensure a successful integration from high school to the university space. Our student-centric approach is centered on the ethos of care for fellow human beings, other forms of life, and the natural environment. Now, in observing protocol this moment, allow me to recognize our distinguished guests who are seated on stage. I'd firstly like to acknowledge officially the Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Andrew Crouch. Now, you all received a student handbook, right? So if you turn open the handbook, the very first greeting you're going to see on that handbook is from the Vice-Chancellor and Principal. Now, the VC and I joke about this because the picture is of a very unique tie, and he's chosen this morning to wear that tie for you. So feel privileged and honored. I'd also then like to acknowledge our senior members, the members of the senior management team, our faculty heads, members of the academic community, the Student Representative Council under the leadership of the SRC President, Mr. Letlhogonolo Tinta, our professional support staff, as well as our academic staff seated in the audience, members of the media, if any, our online viewers, and you, yes you, our first time entering students. Vice-Chancellor, 2024 marks 30 years of our maturing democracy as a nation. Despite our challenges of high unemployment rate, load shedding, challenges within our National Student Financial Aid Scheme, yes, you know it as NSFAS, our story as a nation continues to be that of resilience and perseverance. The Springboks, led by our captain, Siya Kolisi, claimed a record fourth World Cup title on the 28th of October 2023, defending and, of course, defeating three-times winners New Zealand 12-11 in the final at the Stade de France in Paris. In the same year, more than 1 million candidates sat for their grade 12 examinations, where more than half of the successful matriculants were female. In the Northern Cape, 16 of the top 20 performing matriculants were female. Gentlemen, these ladies are focused. What I'm highlighting here is that when faced with challenges, it's easy for us to lose sight of how far we have come. 30 years ago, children of mine workers, farmers, and domestic workers could not dream of leading the Springboks or the Proteas, and nor did they have access to the life-changing tool of education, and that is the highlight of our nation's ability to resist injustice and inequality as we pursue our journey of freedom. In 2024, it's also significant for Plaatje University. It was 10 years ago that the doors of this institution first opened to a modest intake of exactly 135 students. The university has confidently grown exponentially since its inception, and it's fitting that our 10-year anniversary is marked by these young people seated here today. I have to say, you all look absolutely beautiful in your, is it your res regalia? I see Morocco's yellow, I see Mohudi's blue, so it's nice to see you, it's nice to recognize you, and this is important because you are part of this beautiful institution. You are part of this story. And so, in the next coming years, I trust that you understand that your duty will be to continue on your own journey of resilience, just as our nation has, and that of perseverance. I wish to congratulate you once again in making it this far, and I wish to reassure you that you've made the right choice by choosing Plaatje University. I think you should give yourself a warm round of applause. I see a few doting parents present in the audience today, and you too, a big well done to you. Now, before I introduce our official host this morning, who is our Vice-Chancellor and Principal, as this is the official welcome, I'm going to ask that the SPU choir please render a musical item for us now.
Woza
Thank you, SBU Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to invite to the lectern the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of our university, Professor Andrew Crouch, to deliver the official welcome address. Please give a warm round of applause for Professor Crouch.
Thank you, Program Director, Ms. Morris. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. That sounds a bit better. It is a great pleasure and a privilege for me to welcome the class of 2024 to SBU, including those of you who are virtually logged in for this. I also like to acknowledge the presence of our executive management, and I'm not going to introduce all of them, they are on the stage. The members of the SRC, the president is sitting on the stage, but I think the rest of this SRC is sitting in the audience. Members of council that are present here today, if there are any, the academic staff, support staff, personnel staff, professional and support. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our special guests, parents, spouses, friends, families. But more importantly, as I said right from the start, welcome to our new first-year students for 2024. I would also like to extend a special word of thanks to the team who made all the arrangements possible. And it's a myriad of groups, the advancement division, services, security, cleaning, technical personnel. If I omit anyone, please forgive me for that. But it takes a mammoth task to arrange all of this today. There are only 2 days in the year, only 2, that we normally dress up like this. I don't dress up like this every day for your interest, and neither does my colleagues here. There are only 2 days of the year that we dress up in our academic attire, and that's Welcome Day, which is today, and Graduation Day, which is where I would like to see you in 3 to 4 years from now. But it won't be in this venue, because our specialized graduation venue is currently being built, and hopefully this will be the last time we will have a welcome ceremony in this particular venue. It signifies the growth of this institution. Now, both these days, Welcome Day, as well as Graduation Day, are significant and important events because it signifies milestones in the journey of young people who have been most fortunate to come to university, in spite of all the challenges which you might have had in your journey up to now. Today's Welcome Day is also special. As the Dean has said earlier, today is our 11th intake. It's 11th cohort of students that we take into this university. It is also the largest group that we've ever had, 2,166 until yesterday. So I think it deserves a round of applause. The university started, and this is contestable, whether it's 127 students or 135 students. I'll have to go back to the records, but I think you can agree with me that to grow from 100 and plus minus 30 10 years ago to over 2,166 newcomers is indeed an achievement. We will also have today, or this year, over 5,000 students registering at this university. That is now the first years plus all the returning students. And the registrar told me that very soon we'll have to ask you to sit on each other's laps to get the classes. I think that's just a facetious statement. It will not happen. We have enough spaces for you. Now, of the cohort that is sitting here, 36% of you are from the Northern Cape. So it's about 1/3 of our student population of first years. 24% from the Northwest, 9% from Gauteng, 8% from KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga, also 8%, 7% from the Eastern Cape, and 2% each from the Western Cape and Limpopo. Now, why do I mention this? I mention it because it shows the national footprint of this young university that's only 10 years old, and it's already attracting students from all over the country. I always ask my colleagues, why is it that students from the Northwest like Plaatje so much? I see you laughing. Is it because you want to get away from mother and father? I'm sure it's not the case. But there's a big cohort of students from Northwest, which is our adjoining province, and we're glad that you could join us. But I also say there is a university in the Northwest. Okay, but we're glad to have you here nonetheless. It's also a special day for your families. The families that are here, I'm sure you are bursting with pride to see your young charges having reached this milestone, because you are a generation of students that came through COVID since 2020. I think probably when you were in grade 8 or 9, that's when COVID started. So you'd have to navigate all these changes. So apart from navigating these changes, you also had support from your families through this very difficult time of COVID. So you have not done it all by yourself. Although you are a generation that overcame all these challenges, including poverty, inequality, gender-based violence, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, etc., you did not reach this point in your life, in your journey, all on your own. You were supported by a support system, including your parents, your teachers, your colleagues, your friends, maybe just that special person that you could go to when you were at a low. You relied also on your intellect and your own determination and your drive, because you have dreams and you want to make your dreams come true. So without the support of the people that carried you along the way to make you get to this point, you would probably have faltered along the way without their support. So if they are here in the audience, if you have a parent who joined you here today, or a guardian, or somebody that supported you, could you please just wave to them and thank them? You may do so now. Are there no parents in the audience? There are. Okay, I can see at least 1, 2. Thank you very much for joining us here today and to support your young, I won't say child, because they're not children anymore, or they think they're not children anymore, but sometimes they do act like children. Thank you. I think they deserve a round of applause too. Now, I say this every year because I think it's important that you get an understanding of some of the challenges that we are facing as a country. and how special you are indeed as a group of people that have joined this university today. I'll show you how special you are by quoting some statistics. And as I do it every year, the Dean did indicate that approximately plus minus million people between the age group of, say, 17, sometimes younger, 17 and 20, wrote matric last year, 2023. And I know the Minister of Basic Education raved about the 82% pass rate and how successful they are. But if one unpacks the figures, it doesn't look as rosy as an 82%. We know that of those that pass, only 40% of that cohort passed with a bachelor's pass rate. Only 27 passed with a diploma passed, and only 14% passed with a higher certificate. Which means that only about 60 or so % of that cohort passed with a good enough mark to enable them to get into a university. And you're part of that cohort. But if one delves a bit deeper into the statistics, it becomes even more disappointing, I would say. Because if you compare yourselves with the people that started grade 1 with you, if you still remember their names, but if you think about the people that you started grade 1 with, and how many of them actually reached matric with you, then it's only about 50%. So, of the plus minus million that wrote matric, there's another million that was lost along the way. I call them the lost generation, and they are the ones that's contributing towards our challenges of poverty and inequality. I call it a scourge. So you are the 50% that made it thus far. So you are very, very special. Special indeed. But you know what it took to get here. You know all the struggles you had to go through to get to the point where you reach university. And you are now starting a new phase on your journey and a new phase of your life. It's a phase of discovery, a phase of growth, a phase of change, a phase of transformation, and I should also say a phase of maturity. This transformation that I'm talking about, this change, might bring you into conflict with yourself and the people that you love, because you're coming to university and 3 or 4 years down the line, you go back home and the people might not recognize you because you have a different accent. I don't know. Because you think differently, because you act differently, because you look differently, because you want different things. But it's not a bad thing. You don't have to worry about that, because it's part of this transformation and part of this growth. But just remember, whilst you are growing and whilst you are transforming and whilst you are changing and whilst you're discovering, you must never forget one thing. You must never forget where you come from, because it's very important to know that you hold on to your roots. I mean, there's an old saying that a plant or a tree cannot grow if it doesn't have its roots, and if it's not properly embedded in a particular place where it has its roots. So, you are now at Plaatje University. You're ready to grow, you're ready to transform, you're ready to change, you're ready to discover. You are now registered as a student, I hope. Otherwise, you would not be in this room. This young university, which is 10 years old, was conceived as a source of pride, not only for the Northern Cape, but for the whole of South Africa. It was conceived to orientate ourselves to take its respectful place amongst the institutions of higher learning in this country. And I quoted figures earlier to show you that it's already taking that place amongst the institutions in this country. This institution was conceived with the sole purpose of providing education and qualifications in a range of fields and for the personal advancement of young people of this country. And why? It's to make your dreams come true. You are here to obtain an education. And there's a difference between an education and a university degree. How many of you have come here to obtain a degree or diploma? Can I just have an indication? So you've come for your piece of paper, right? How many of you have come here for an education? There's a difference, and I'll tell you the difference just now. Thank you. So I asked that question because I'm asking, what does it mean for you? Are you coming here to have a piece of paper at the end of the day when you walk over the stage after graduation and say, now I'm a graduate? Or are you coming here to say that I earned this piece of paper, but in the process, I've also learned something else. I became an educated individual that could contribute towards society. Because that is what Plaatje University would like you to be an educated person by the time you leave this university. Education is important. We now know the famous quotation from our first president, our first democratically elected president, Mandela. And you know, this quote, a lot of people quote it over and over. So it might sound like a cliche sometimes, but it's still relevant when he said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So use education to change the world, because education is important if we want to make a change in this world, and more so in South Africa. We mentioned earlier some of the challenges which you as young people are experiencing. You know, I'll use the macro challenges: global change, food security, water scarcity. Just to name a few, the challenges of artificial intelligence. But closer to home, I mentioned it before, gender-based violence, drug abuse, and so forth and so forth. So you as a generation who have access to higher education have the opportunity to take part in this lifelong journey. I call it a lifelong educational journey, whose destination only expands as you travel, as you interact, and as you explore. You have now taken the first step, which is crucial. This first step to make your dreams come true. As a generation, you must have hopes, you must have dreams, and you must have aspirations. Who in this room doesn't have dreams and hopes? I'm looking over the audience and I'm asking myself, you all have hopes and dreams. Hope that you will come to realize all the aspirations and dreams that you set for yourself. Hope that you realize the dreams of your parents, your guardians, and your spouses, if you are married, your family. Hope that your sacrifices up to now will be rewarded after you finish with your tertiary studies. Hope that one day you would be in a position to provide a better life for yourself and the people that you love. Hope that the goals and dreams that you set for yourself will be realized. And hope that you can get yourself out of the circumstances that you find yourself in. So, many hopes, many dreams, many aspirations. For without hope, there's no life, and there would be no dreams. And without any dreams, there would be no aspirations. Put differently, if there's no hope, there's no life. And where there's life, there are dreams. Now, why do I keep on harping about dreams and dreams and dreams? And I'll tell you later. Dreams and hope fill us with courage and makes us strong. You are now starting something that is new, and you have your hopes and your dreams, but this new thing can be scary. I'm sure when you came here, some of you were scared, unsure, and you're even scared now because you don't know what's waiting next Monday. Am I right? But don't worry, I was walking around on the campus last week and the week before, and you all look so excited because I was watching the vibe. I walked on campus and I was just observing, and I watched the excitement and the buzz, and it's almost contagious. You know, young people, their energy is contagious. And I said to myself that you are now starting in something new, and that something new in the course of time will lead to the right decisions that you have made. But doubt is something very funny, and fear is something very funny. It can sometimes overcome one entirely, and before you know it, you doubt yourself. So my encouragement to you is to take courage and have courage to overcome the fears and the doubts. It means that you have to keep on going, even if you feel unsure, even if you feel that you have not made the right decision. Because if you are not going to be persistent, strong, and enduring, you will in fact falter along the way. This is the first step, which is crucial for you to realize your hopes and dreams. You need also to have a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities to learn and to do better. Remember that success, your success, which you are dreaming about, is just not about achieving external things. It's not just about achieving that piece of paper. It's also about growing inside and discovering yourself. And that's why I said earlier that you're coming here to transform, to change, and you might not even recognize yourself in 3 or 4 years' time. Now, I also tell people that I'm a dreamer too. In my inaugural address of November 2021, I, in fact, described my own journey of dreams, and I'm still living that dream today. I'm standing here speaking to you. This wasn't part of my dream, by the way. So I had other dreams, but those dreams were not realized. What I'm saying is that I'm testimony to the fact that you can have dreams and that your dreams can be realized. I used to, as a child, stay into the night sky of the Northern Cape. And I looked at the stars, and I used to say, everything is possible. So, whatever you dream, whatever you hope, whatever your aspirations, Soul Plaatje is the place where you can set the foundations for those dreams to become true. Now, I just want to return to you and to return to this university that you have registered for now, where you are now. Last year, we received 47,000 applications, 47,000 applications for the 2,000 plus places that we had. So we only accepted you out of those 47,000 applications. So you see how special you are. It was competitive. So you can proudly say, when you walk out of this wall, you can proudly say that, yes, I've made it. I'm a Chemie. Right. I indicated that most of you come from the Northern Cape and the Northwest, which are two provinces that are probably the poorest in South Africa. The economic drivers in these provinces are mainly mining and agriculture. And we only have a few new economies such as square kilometer array and alternate energies, etc. So poverty and inequality is one of our biggest challenges, apart from the others that I mentioned earlier, the gender-based violence, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and so forth. But I always say that we have this poverty and inequality on the one side. We have the opportunities that present itself in these provinces through these new initiatives. These are provinces that are richly endowed with minerals and natural resources, like many other parts of South Africa. And these are opportunities. And I see the disjuncture or the gap between these opportunities that are there and what I call the educational levels of our young people, between the age groups of 18 and 25. That's you. And I say to myself that the only way in which this cohort of young people are going to partake and grab those opportunities is for them to educate themselves, for them to qualify themselves, for them to make something of their own lives. Because any graduate that graduates from a university impacts immediately on the lives of 10 other people when they graduate. You can ask the people that are graduates that are sitting in the audience. When they graduated, they had to help with their siblings and get them through school. And they had to help Gogo to, in fact, pay off that house loan or that loan that she took to actually get them through university. Gogo could, in fact, go and shop at Woolworths instead of the no-name brands. So once you graduate, you can impact on 10 other people. So make sure that you make use of this opportunity. Imagine all of you graduate. We have 2,000 plus 2,166 graduates from this group 3 or 4 years from now. You immediately impact on the lives of 21,000 people. Think of it. That is how we, as a society, can change society and change the scourge of poverty and inequality. We are faced with global change, energy shortages, water shortages, and I believe that all is not lost, since this generation has the capacity to turn things around. But remember, I said you're not coming here to just earn a degree. You're coming here to get an education. And part of that education is what you've already experienced in the last 2 weeks. Is there anybody here who did not enjoy the orientation 2 weeks? So I assume everybody enjoyed it. That was part of your educational journey before you even started the academic project. But that in itself will continue throughout the year and throughout the time that you are here at Plaatje University. But that is not enough. You also have to have a value system, because education needs a value system. You need a value system, and I always say the most important value for me is self-respect and respect for others. Respect for yourself will mean that you will respect others and you will respect the environment in which you find yourself. And that is what we try to integrate here at Plaatje University, and that is the type of education which we would like to give you so that you can build a better future. Plaatje University, as a young university, is currently celebrating its decade campaign. This decade campaign is meant to provide an enduring bursary fund, a fund of 100 million rand, that will pay in perpetuity for your children and your children's children to give them access to education. We know the challenges we have around NSFAS and whether NSFAS is going to be sustainable 10 years from now. And that is why a decade campaign is important. I just met with a funder on Thursday for lunchtime from the ICT environment. And I told him about this university. This university that aspires to be a site of learning, research, and culture where we could act as an engaged social partner, a knowledge economy leader in a truly 21st century environment of higher learning. This university that strives to become research active in prioritized niche areas. This university that wants to deepen its academic program and orientation to quality teaching and learning. This university that wants to be digitally empowered, that wants to be sustainable, and wants to be engaged with our community. So I told him all of these things. Yesterday morning, so we went for lunch, myself and other colleagues. Yesterday morning at around 10:30, I got a call from this very funder telling me that he went back to his office, he rearranged his budget, and he liberated 1 million rand from his budget. 1 million rand. For bursaries for our ICT students. So we will be identifying the students, and the students will be interviewed, and the bursaries will be allocated. But these are some of the efforts that we're trying to do to make sure that we leave a lasting legacy through the funds that we raise for this university. We want to place the institutional goals of learning and knowledge generation central to high-impact public community engagement, which I refer to it as our social consciousness. This university have now expanded in terms of its students, its staff. We have even appointed new deans who started this year. We've transitioned to faculties this year. And we have new deans, Professor Viljoen, Professor Jobert, Professor Chwanbora, and we also have acting deans. We have launched a number of research centers last year, and those centers, and the year before, and those centers focus on the areas of research which are relevant not only to South Africa, not only to the region, but also to the globe. I refer to as the local context, where we make use of local knowledge to inform the global community. So we have specializations in entrepreneurship, a center for applied data sciences, a center for risk and vulnerability studies that look at arid environments, and we hope to also have a program in desert studies. We have a center for creative writing and African language. And all of these fields draw on the distinctive strengths and heritage of the Northern Cape, as well as the broader South Africa. So you, as first years, you will partake in those structures during the course of your education here at Plaatje University. I referred earlier to the values. You've been here for 2 weeks. Have you noticed anything different from the schools where you came from or from the environments that you came from? What's different? Apart from that you're free now and you can do what you want. What is different? The campus is clean, right? Why is it clean? Because I insist as Vice-Chancellor that the place is clean. Because that's part of our value system, that we must operate in a neat and clean environment. That's just one example. And I hope it stays clean. So make sure that you join the appropriate club and society and green initiatives, and that it remains clean. And take that value back to where you come from and clean up your own environment, your own township, your own house, etc., your own room. It actually starts there. That's just one value. Other values that we represent and seek to transfer to you are independent intellectual endeavor, depth and breadth of knowledge and critical thinking, academic quality, community engagement and social responsiveness, intellectual integrity, very, very important. Integrity is very, very important. We don't want any one of you to be caught cheating in exams. And I discipline a lot of students for cheating on exams, but it speaks to your integrity. And last but not least, respect for others. So you've already experienced some of the things that we want to transfer to you whilst you are a student here at Plaatje University. And I refer you to this wonderful little booklet, which the Dean referred to, where you can get information on different experiences, different clubs and societies that you can join, and different activities that you can partake as part of the co-curricular activities that take place outside of the classroom. These activities teaches you other skills which you are not being taught in the classroom. And you can speak to some of our graduates, the ones that are successful, because we do have successful graduates that are successful teachers. I run into them all over the Northern Cape and the areas that I visit. We have people that work in the retail business. We have people that work in banks. They are successful graduates. And one of the things they always tell me is that, Professor, we didn't just get a degree at Plaatje University. We got an education at Plaatje University. And this is part of the education. But apart from these values, we also want you to have the skills that are needed for you to be competitive in the 21st century. Amongst these are digital skills and other human skills. Some of the things that we have been fortunate to do here at Plaatje University is to transition very early into this cycle of digital enhancement. And the COVID pandemic, on the one hand, it was a scourge, but on the other hand, it was an advantage. I say it's a cloud silver lining that we, in fact, had to explore. And that assisted us to fast-track and to enhance our digital efforts. So the fact that you are provided with a laptop on the first day that you register has to do with the fact that we would like to introduce you right from the start into this digital world and digital enhancement. You all know, if you don't know it, you know it now, that we are teaching in a hybrid mode, which means from Monday onwards, some of your lectures will be online. You don't have to go to a shower. You can sit in your bed, in your hostel room with your computer and you can log on to your lectures. I know the parents didn't know that. You can actually do that. But we prefer you to go to lectures because contact lectures have been shown to be as efficient, if not more efficient, than online. We're also expanding our work in the areas of staff development, student support, through workshops, tutorships, quality assurance, through module evaluation and assessment practices, both in the online as well as in the contact domain. All of these developments, as well as others, such as the modern infrastructure we have, the state-of-the-art sports facilities, and I believe you enjoyed some of this yesterday, our state-of-the-art sports facilities, all of this is there to ensure that you grow as young individuals and that you obtain and master the tools necessary for you to challenge and tackle the challenges of tomorrow. Now, I'd like to use the remaining 50 minutes that I have. No, I don't have 50 minutes, another 10 minutes. I know you almost, the energy levels are going down. But I want to tell you about the journey that you are going to embark on. The university environment offers many opportunities for you, but you must also play your part. I've already referred you to some of the opportunities in the clubs and societies, sports, etc. There are ample opportunities to grow. Be consistent and be diligent. Because you might think that you're the smartest person in the room, but the whole university is full of smart people. So what differentiates the one from the other is the ones that are more disciplined, more diligent, more principled, and the ones that stay more grounded. So don't come here and think that you're the most clever person in the world and you don't study. And that's a big problem many young people make, and then they fail. And then they're too ashamed to go back home and say to their parents or the community that they failed. Everybody is clever in the university. Remember that. So what will distinguish you from your colleague is your discipline, your principles, and being grounded. Always keep your final goal in mind and remember your dream. Remember that you have a dream, you have hopes, and you have aspirations. Let the opportunities not go past. You can collaborate, network. You meet a lot of other people here at the university. Remember, don't just because you come from the Eastern Cape, you associate with people from the Eastern Cape. Or you come from Limpopo, now you're only going to associate with people from Limpopo. That is why you're here, is to explore, to network, to meet new people. You might even meet your future spouse here. I don't know. It's possible, right? So the opportunity is there. Please take it. Plaatje University will be your partner on this journey. Remember, success reached is a combination of hard work and a great support team. And I can assure you that Plaatje University will give you that support. So I'm not going to try and tell you everything about the university because you've gone through some of it already and you have the lectures coming up on Monday. Hopefully, what you've experienced up to now has given you a taste of what to expect. I also urge you to be positive, have great fun. There might be a little bit of stress, but there's always stress. Please enjoy what the university has to offer. Join a club, a society, participate. We have an upcoming big walk. You must have, when you came into the room, you must have seen the table there. It's still there, it's not going away. When you walk out here, make sure that you register for the big walk, which is taking place on the 24th of February. It is meant to help you to socialize further, to meet other people, to have fun. So don't forget to register. See it as your first obligatory activity as a first-year student. So I'm looking forward to see you at the big walk, because I will be walking myself. And if I can walk 5 kilometers and I'm about half your age, you can in fact do it yourself. So again, we have a great support team in our academic and support staff, our student affairs, and our other support division. All you have to do is to work hard and to succeed. Remember, a community back home is rooting for you and is watching you. So every time you go home for a holiday, they're going to ask you, how is it going? And you mustn't lie to them, please. If it's not going well, tell them, because they will also be able to give you support. Your success is, after all, their success. Your hopes and dreams, that's also their hopes and dreams. So the future is yours. Ensure that you go on this journey of being a lifelong learner. Learn and adapt. Continue to learn no matter where you are. Prepare yourselves then for an exciting future which lies ahead, where you can contribute positively to society. But very importantly, stay humble. Don't think that you have a degree and you know everything. A degree, one day, is just a key to a room full of people that all have degrees. And then again, you have to differentiate yourself through the qualities, the skills, and all the adits that you had through your journey here at Plaatje University. I will end now because my time is up now. I will end by quoting from the lyrics of a musical, which I love very much. You, as young people, might not know this, but maybe after listening to me, you will go into Google, because I mean that's your point of reference, isn't it? And you will actually see what it's about. I love this musical because it represents to me the resilience of the human spirit. It's a story of love, compassion, hope in the midst of darkness, poverty, inequality, forgiveness, humanity, and redemption. Does it sound familiar? Doesn't it sound like South Africa? Yeah. I will quote from this musical called La Miserable. I don't know if you know it. I hope I pronounce it properly. In plain English, it's called The Miserables. Right? I'll quote a few lines from the song I Dreamed a Dream. It says, I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that life would never go, would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. And I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. And then the lyrics go on, and it speaks to somebody trying to interfere and scuttle the dreams of this individual. And it says, but the tigers come at night with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear your hope apart and they turn your dream to shame. So my message to you is beware of the tigers, those that want to turn your dream to shame. And don't let anyone turn your dream to shame or take your dream away. Congratulations once again on your achievement for making it to SPU. It's an achievement of your family. It's your achievement, it's your family achievement, and it's the community's achievement. I look forward to see you at the graduation 3 to 4 years from now. Now, I say 3 to 4 years because you can see I make provision for maybe 1 year, an N+1. You'll be awarded with a certificate or diploma or a degree. Thank you very much.
Another warm round of applause for the Vice-Chancellor. Now, in keeping the atmosphere of the Vice-Chancellor's welcome address lively, I would like to formally introduce the Marimba Ensemble Band in serenading us with a musical item. Please give them a warm round of applause. Thank you. The Student Representative Council is the highest student representative body on campus. The SRC is there to help you in any issue or challenge or opportunity you may face or wish to present, and acts as an intermediary body in the mediation of all student-related matters within the university. I would implore you all to listen to the SRC President's address this morning. I believe Mr. Tlegonolo Tinta will officially then also, just by, I don't know, President, how you wish to do it, but also then inform the audience who the rest of the SRC members are. And I'd like to now ask this audience, please give you a warm round of applause as you make your way over to the lectern.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of the Vice-Chancellor, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor in absentia, the University Registrar, Dean of Students, members of the SMT, phenomenal academia, and my council. Can you please stand up, my council, so that everyone can see you? Yes, yes. They are doing very well as far as students are concerned. Last but not least, the esteemed SPU trailblazers, record breakers, game changers, 2024 first years, you are welcome. Vice Chancellor, I feel so honored with this gown. I think like I have to take it home after this. I will try by all means to be slow so that my colleague can try to make sure that you understand. Welcome to the vibrant family of Plaatje University. As your Student Representative Council President, it is an honor and an absolute joy to extend my warmest greetings to the dynamic souls joining our academic heaven for the first time. This path is a rainbow of experiences, connections, and self-learning. Accept the singularity of this encounter, for within these walls are not just schools, but also area of nature, aspirations. Release your creativity and create enduring relationships. Our commitment as the SRC is to champion your student experience, to advocate and to ensure that your time at Plaatje University is marked by growth, engagement, and lasting memories. We are also trying, by all means, together with my council, to make sure that we fundraise for you. We will be hosting on the 15th of March Tusami Tuti fundraising golf day. And all we are asking from you is to make sure that you participate. You make sure that you're academic, you do very well. Because if you can pass very well, you will enable us to ask for a lot of money from the donors and the sponsors and all those particular people. But if you don't participate by achieving, by being, you understand what I'm saying? Behaving very well, so that when we go outside to those particular business sectors, they can definitely bring something to the table. Our aim is to make sure that we raise plus minus 1 to 1.5 million to 10 million to make sure that we assist you financially, because we understand that we are coming from poor backgrounds. Together, let us make waves, break boundaries, and redefine what this means to be a Plaatjian, chemis. Dive into the rich tapestry of academics, clubs, and events that awaits you. This is your time to shine. Explore. Make your mark. We are here to support you every step of the way. Lastly, there are two fundamental things that you must take into consideration. What brought you here and what can keep you here. You were brought here by your APS. But what can keep you here is very important. Listen to this one. It takes inner tenacity, discipline, respect, perseverance, and persistence to win and to make the difference. If you can have this thing, I'm telling you, you will graduate on a record time like I did. Vice-Chancellor, I was telling them when we get to know your SRC during the week, I told them that I am the first president to enroll with honors in Plaatje University. Get ready to embark on the traveling adventure. We are here to start something extraordinary. Warm regards, SRC President Tinta. Thank you very much.
Another warm round of applause. President Tinta, thank you for that address. I definitely think our students are clear on the assignment. It's going to be a good year. We're going to have fun. We will disagree, but we disagree respectfully. We remain focused. There's one agenda. Besides the agenda of the soul, it's the agenda of education. So as long as you fulfill those two, and you're clear on what it is you came here to do, and what it is, as the Vice-Chancellor has clearly articulated, you stick to the dream. You've got a unique dream. If you need, we can create storyboards. We can sit together in the quad and create those storyboards. It's important that you wake up every morning in your room, be it Mahudi, Moroka, Haniki, Umnandi, Ratacha, or within the Kimberley community. Wherever it is you wake up, it's important that you wake up and you see that dream. You visualize it. Because when it gets difficult, and I think you've heard from all the addresses this morning, you will be challenged. It is going to get uncomfortable. But I urge you this morning to be comfortable in the discomfort. And you're going to be vulnerable, and it's okay to be vulnerable. You've got a student handbook that's presented before you. You've got support from the Vice-Chancellor and Principal himself, and every single member in the senior management team. You've got support from every single staff member that works at Plaatje University, and most importantly, the Student Representative Council. So it's up to you. We are here for you. You are here for a bigger dream, a bigger purpose. So I urge you to achieve, believe, and explore. With that being said, I'd like to bring this morning's festivities to a close. And in doing so, I'd like to extend a warm, warm appreciation to the Vice-Chancellor and Principal and the SRC for those motivational speeches. Thank you. Our appreciation to the Marimba Band, as well as the SPU Choir. Yes, if you have a voice, not a wooden mic, a voice, do get involved and sign up to join the SPU Choir amongst the many clubs, societies, sporting codes, and many other cultural activities that you can explore and join on campus. I'd like to acknowledge the event organizing team. It's a massive team, and without the entire team, none of this would have been possible. A special word of gratitude to the parents and the guardians who've supported you. I know it may be challenging for your parents and guardians to be here with you this morning, but I urge you, when you get to your room, maybe just give them a call or send them a WhatsApp and just say thank you. I'd also like to extend my gratitude to you. Yes, you. You woke up, you got dressed, and most importantly, I'm going to ask one thing of you, is that you show up. And this morning, you showed up. A warm appreciation to you. Welcome to #MySRC. SPU. Now I'm going to close off the proceeding, and I'm going to humbly request that you please rise and you remain standing as the procession exits the venue.
You may sit down. Congratulations and welcome to SPU. You are now officially known as Gemsboks. Gemis, fellow Gemis. In UCT, they call themselves IKIS. In Northwest, they call themselves in UFS, they call themselves COFSIS. In CUT, Ikayas, Stellenbosch, Matis, Nelson Mandela, Madivas, Rhodes, Rodents, SPU, SPU, please help me welcome the Khemi in the room. Khemi.
Kata sabi na alam mas ka sambil ngalis sota yo dali ros moda samana bom sopla apa soplas yene ngalis sotra sotali moda ay dala sosplas sambil ngalis sotra sotali ros moda sambil bom soska ay 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 mosca, sambe ngale sotra. Yo dali rosmoda, samba na vom sopla. Nga fasho plus, ene ngale sotra, sodali rosmoda. Ay ay, dala mosca, sambe ngale sotra. Yo dali rosmoda, samba na vom sopla. Nga fasho plus, ene ngale sotra, sodali rosmoda. Ay ay. Esa skita, moe anaya, henge, shai henge. Esa skita, moe anaya, henge, shai henge, 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 henge. Esa skita, moe anaya.
Thank you. Another big round of applause for Geme. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are free to go home, but we will do that properly. There's a lady at the back that will show you how you're going to exit the hall. Thank you. You can play some more music. Geme, you can come to the stage if you want. Thank you.
Upeti ngane la I move